Hey everybody, Nick here, and today we're going to do a little disassembly and maintenance on this little guy right here. This is the Ferrum Forge / Wee Knives Falcon. I'm sorry, and Massdrop is involved too. Yeah. In fact, they are very vocal about that. Put that right there. So anyways, we're going to try and take this little guy apart, and I am kind of optimistic that this is really just a 2-screw design, that we're going to need to remove this screw here and then this screw up here. The pivot appears to be Torx. That's like Torx, except a little bit more tongue movement, I guess. Looks like a free spinning pivot. Can live with that. Rather not have to, but I can live with that. Alrighty, pop this loose. Yeah, there we go. It's coming out nice, easy. No freaking problem. Alright, pivots out. And then looks like T6 for this other little area down here. I'm going to see if I can get away with just taking out this one screw rather than removing the clip and whatnot on the other side. That's certainly Loctited. There we go. All right. There is one clip screw. Here is the other. And my suspicion is that the clip is also, unless there is a third screw underneath, no, then the clip is part of what's holding this knife together, and in fact now the knife has come apart. Beautiful. Come on. He says like it's a fait accompli. There we go. And in fact we can see there, oh nice, there's another little inner post that helps to keep everything together. And then the knife is all apart. Okay, so we can see here that there is a stainless steel washer. They're using ceramic bearings as well as a ceramic detent ball, which is actually kind of impressive, I'm going to be honest. At this kind of a price point, and that's really where this knife is most interesting, is in that price point. They really don't seem to be pulling many in the way of punches for construction. So that's great. Looks like a little bit of blue Loctite was used here, maybe more than a little bit. Okay, yeah, just a little sliver of it there. Crescent moon of Loctitude. Pop that out of there. Pop the pivot through. Now we'll just go in here. We'll clean it out. Look, this guy's been carried some, but it's not all that dirty. This guy, in the name of full disclosure, was sent to me by the Massdrop folks. Wanted to get my opinion on it, and then said, "Oh, go ahead, keep it. Do a review and whatnot." So here I am. I'm doing it. Beautiful. Can't argue with that. You know, Massdrop as a company has historically, I had some problems with them very early on, customer service issues and whatnot, and, you know, has historically been a company I avoided. But I talked to some of the people, and more importantly, I talked to some people who've been using them lately, and have heard a lot more good experiences, at least in the last few months, than bad ones. Which is really good. And then I've had some buddies who picked this guy up and actually who had some trouble, who had issues with it, and Massdrop made them whole very quickly and very nicely. And so, you know, I'm always willing to give a second chance when a company earns it, and by taking care of people who, you know, I mean, if they take care of me, that's a business decision. You want to keep loud jackasses happy. But when they take care of the little guy, so to speak, and I'm throwing, that's an automatic knife that just fell off my table. That's nice. Luckily it didn't deploy. But anyways, nonetheless, you know, when people take care of people who they don't know are actually going to be important, that's what's important to me. So, you know, I'm giving them a second chance here. I recently placed my first order from them in a little while here, and I'll probably keep doing so with some of these new collaborations, because this is pretty compelling. All told, the fact that they're able to do this at the price point they're doing it at is impressive. Okay, and so now we need to put this little guy back together here. There's not all that much going on to it, so we should be able to get this in short order. Okay, so step one is going to be to put the washer back in, and let's figure out which side of this washer goes up. Can't remember if I cleaned it off or not. Oddly enough, both sides show wear, but which one is bearing wear? Oh, come on. There we go. Yeah, that's bearing. Looks like a little compression in there. That's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I'm going to use this little guy. This is nano oil, and this is a pen applicator that helps me apply a little bit less of it, because I have a tendency let's be real here, to over-apply lubrication. So I'm using 10-weight nano oil on this guy. I'm hoping that it'll actually speed the action up a little bit as well. Now we're going to go ahead and do the other side here because I'm going to want to disassemble this guy, or I'm sorry, reassemble this guy sort of in my opposite of usual order. Putting the pivot in through the top side where the pivot generally lives. Dropping a bearing onto it. There we go. I'm just going to spin the bearing around, and I'm using the applicator, but I'm not putting on oil. I just want to distribute what's on there. There we go. Put a little oil in there. Beautiful. There we go. Oh yeah, that reminds me. I should put a stop pin in this. Details, details. Alrighty. Go. You in? There you go. Now you're in. Okay, stop pin is in. Now we're going to go ahead and put a little bit of lubrication on the blade here. And I'm also going to put a little lubrication on the detent ball path here, which should help this drop a little bit more freely. Although, again, the action on it seems to be fine as it is. Put that there. Now, what are we missing? What have I left out? Really not too much. All right, that's fine. Place that down. And now we'll go ahead and put the other side back onto this guy. And this just requires a little bit of pinch-a-tude, and I am going to relieve the lock bar pressure periodically, just because sometimes that can be a key detail. I'm going to go ahead and put on a little bit of blue Loctite here, and I'm using my Loctite on a stick. This, as always, the tools that I'm using for this disassembly are available and viewable on video I have on knife disassembly tools. And there I have an Amazon link where you can buy them and support the channel if you want to. Or you can see what's going on there and buy them elsewhere and not support the channel if you want to. It's all good to me. It's all gravy. But anyways, there we go. And we will drop this onto here. So anyways, back at the ranch, I am kind of more excited about this than I thought I was initially. You know, this being the Ferrum Forge Massdrop collaboration. Because I think that if Massdrop continues to be good to people, and they seem to be really trying, they explained that they had a bad customer service time for a little while there. And rather humbly. But anyways, if this continues to be, if they continue taking care of people, them working with Ferrum Forge, who are incredible knife designers, bar none, and to make things that are interesting and different, that Ferrum Forge, as a smaller custom shop, would not be able to make, that's a beautiful thing. That's something I very much hope will be a thing in the long term. And so I'm cheering for this collaboration. Even if this right here is not the perfect instantiation, so to speak, you know, it's great to see that it's happening. Okay, right now I've got things fully cranked down. Oh, yeah. That's much nicer. Oh, that action just got better. It's good. But I'm glad to see this happening, and I really hope that everybody involved does right by everybody else involved, and that something like this can continue. And especially if they're able to keep making these kinds of well-constructed knives at a great price, then by God, keep it up, guys. So anyways, that was maybe more rant than disassembly, but as we can see here, the knife is now perfectly centered. Actually, it was previously. The action is great. The innards are revealed to be cut no corners sorts and affairs, which is great. And on the whole, it's a nice knife. So I'm going to go ahead and do my review of this little guy coming up here shortly, and keep an eye out for that. But in the meantime, hope this was interesting to you, and have yourselves an absolutely wonderful rest of your day. Bye now.